Thank you so much for having me. Yes, we are in the thick of things out here, and we've been taking care of severe COVID cases for the past 1 year now. But this second wave and the second wave of the pandemic has been exceptionally challenging for us. In the first wave, around August or September, we were able to take in most patients that came to our ICU. But in this wave, what is happening is that for every one patient that we are taking, we are having to refuse two or three of them, which is actually absolutely heartbreaking. And the other thing is that once all the patients that are coming to us, they are in really bad shape. Now, to give you a perspective, our hospital caters to the population of Bihar, which is the population of Bihar is almost the same as that of Mexico. And for that, the most important COVID care areas is in the capital city of Patna. And if you add up all the beds, there are approximately 3,000 beds maximum to cater to this huge population. So what happens is for every patient that is coming to our hospital, he is having to wait for 2 days at his home in a sick condition whilst his family members are running around all hospitals in a radius of 100 kilometers looking for beds for him. So by the time he comes to our hospital, by the time he gets his bed, he's actually very sick. So that is a thing that we are facing right now. One, because we are in a tertiary care center, our hospital is actually pretty well equipped. We have a visionary leader and we have adequate supplies of oxygen. But the problem is that there is no oxygen and there are no drugs outside of our hospital. Many private hospitals that would have actually catered to most of these patients have had to shut down simply because they are not able to get oxygen. And there are certain drugs which are used in coronavirus. And because there is a shortage of these drugs, there are people who are hoarding up these drugs. The price of one drug, which is approximately 40,000, is now being sold in the black market for close to 2 lakh rupees. That is 200,000 rupees. So it is availability. Oxygen is a major challenge because without oxygen, there are hospitals which are shutting down, which would have actually catered to a lot of patients who are there. They would not have died. There are actually patients I know who are on WhatsApp and they are updating their status. Their saturations are coming down from 80, 90 to 60, 50, and they are saying their goodbyes on WhatsApp groups. That is actually a desperate call for help for anyone who is on the WhatsApp group to help him. And imagine the kind of pain that those family members of these patients, these people who are actually saying their goodbyes on WhatsApp groups. Actually the brunt of the majority of the work is being done in the intensive care units by the residents. We are consultants. We there take the rounds and the residents stay there. And they are young minds. And the kind of death and destruction they are seeing, it absolutely shatters them. So there have been nervous breakdowns in our department, and the department of we have had collaborations with Department of Psychiatry, and these residents have been actually counseled, and there have been sessions on mental health of these residents. They are working in extremely difficult conditions, ma'am. I'm telling you, because in India it is pretty hot many times. Sometimes the air conditioners don't work, and wearing those PPEs, it is very difficult. And our residents have had to work wearing diapers, adult diapers, and the death they are seeing, and it really affects their young minds. It affects any mind, young or experienced, but it is definitely taking a toll on their mental health. There are panic attacks they are getting, for which, yes, we are providing help to them. That is very important. In a tertiary care hospital, ma'am, the most important thing that we want is number one, manpower. And because our hospital is relatively well off, what we need is manpower. There is a dearth of trained manpower that we have. Regarding what we want from the healthcare system from the state, we want that the healthcare system that is there existent, that should be made more robust. They might be having the buildings and the machines also maybe, but the maintenance and the upkeep and the whole protocol setup and the manpower needs to be focused upon. I mean, this COVID may come and COVID may go. There might be other viruses and the other bacteria which will come. But if the health system is not robust, if the health system is not good, if the health system is the way it is, we are going to suffer big time in the future also. So I think we should invest more on healthcare. Currently, immediately, yes, we need oxygen, obviously, because if there is no oxygen, the other hospitals, the private hospitals which are taking care of the milder cases, they are not admitting patients. They should have some regulatory rules and norms regarding medicines. But I think they are trying hard also. And these are the things that we would want as healthcare professionals. We want adequate supply of oxygen. We want adequate supply of medicines, and we want manpower. That is also important.
Okay.